So with the what do you guys reckon is the reason why a lot of people stop playing Destiny?
D1 or D2?
As a whole, because
I
like
think it
because
might just be frustrated. Like,
there's a big drop in player base. Like at the end of year one, for well D1, the player base was I think like 20 million players registered, but only like I think 1.1 million bought the game on week one.
You know what I blame it on?
frustration, like, I reckon.
I don't even think it's that. I think that social media has such a fucking big boost in advertising other games that it doesn't have a spotlight on it. Unless you know about Destiny 2, it's not like if you log into fucking Twitter, I mean, I know Bungie makes posts, but you know what I mean? If you log into fucking Twitter or if you get on fucking Twitch or something like that, for fuck's sake, if you get on Twitch, you actually got to search for it. It's not even in like the regular load up fucking games that they enjoy you to have. I mean, I don't think that it gets as much notoriety as some of the other games. Like Fortnite, you see how much fucking advertising is out there for that? I mean,
Yeah.
I think the big problem is just the simple fact that it's got no limelight to it. This is an enhanced first-person shooter. If you don't know what you're doing, you're pretty much shit out of luck. You can't pick it up and play it like you can Call of Duty. Shit like that's simple and it's fucking easy to use. This actually makes you fucking work for shit, and a lot of people don't like that. It's why a lot of people all the way back in the day liked playing fucking Doom better than they like playing Wolfenstein. Let me just run around and shoot shit and get bigger, better weapons, and that's all the other games are anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I gotta kind of come back out the door, huh?
Yeah, but if you think about it as well, like, Destiny 1 launched with next to out, and it took them like a year or two.
Yeah, 1 year. 1 year they'd gone from about I think 1.1 or something like that million to 20 million, and then 3 months after that it went up to 25.
Yeah, but then look at how quickly it dropped when other games started coming out. You got to remember when Destiny 1 came out, it was like predating a lot of other fucking shooters that were going to be coming out either later in the year or fucking right at the beginning of the next year.
Yeah, but D2, it's almost like deja vu with Day 1, how it launched shit and it took them so long to fix it and add stuff, and there wasn't the communication between like the freaking devs and the player base was crap, and it was crap. I mean, it wasn't at one point.
Yeah.
Like at one point it was really well.
When D2 launched, there was roughly, oh crap, what was it, 8 million I think that played on a regular basis or so. Well, and with a lot of problems with tests and shit like that, I reckon that's with Activision's butting in, trying to get the microtransactions and spread all the content out, squeeze more money out of people. Like Everest came in October of D1, but it wasn't until where is this gone now?
Was it the Dawning? I'm sure it was the Dawning.
Well, yeah, the Dawning had a lot of issues with that as well.
So I remember they used to call it the Costin back in D1.
Yeah. Where is it? Okay, so from a report in 2016, 15th of September, so a year after D1 came out, there's a report saying that players will soon be able to start buying boosters and stuff for their reputation and experience with Rise of Iron.
Yeah.
I think that's where some of the problems started anyway, because like some players were able to basically pay to get ahead of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to remember this much too. You can't completely fault a company for trying to make money.
No, I mean that's their point. But with Bungie and shit, they had fucking great games with amazing stories. Like look at the early fucking Halo games. They had great stories and stuff like that, and they didn't have a another publisher sort of breathing down their neck to get content out sooner, to entice more players to. They didn't entice the developers to try and incentivize players to spend extra money and shit.
Just look how big Halo was, man. It was in freaking esports and everything.
Uh-huh. What else I was gonna add on that now?
I'm not gonna lie, like, I took a break for like 6 months of this game because I was like done. I was like, I'm sick of putting money in, and it's went back to worse than what it was at the end of day one. And like, I took a 6 month break during Curse of Osiris, playing like Monster Hunter.
I remember that, yeah.
And then Curse of Osiris comes, so I thought I'd give it another shot. And when I heard about Forsaken, I was like, I didn't want to like have too high expectations, but then obviously when it did launch, I think it's the best expansion that they've done.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier with Activision pushing Bungie to release content that was clearly able to be launched with the game. Another way that they were trying to squeeze more money out of people. Instead of what Bungie probably would have done is listen to the players and give the... Oh, there's another watcher in here, isn't there? And give the...
yeah, but he's still got a shield. Oh, there's the sound.
He's up there. And just give the best experience to the players that they already had.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if they didn't have Activision, I don't think they would have brought a Destiny 2. I think they might have just continued with Destiny 1 and just done another, like, big DLC.
From what I heard, because they left Microsoft because apparently they were too controlling, they needed the capital that Activision could forward. I think there was like $500 million or something like that, 500 million to front it and to help the studio just be more independent from, well, basically the major players like Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
So that sort of just had them in Activision's pocket for a while, but now that they've got sort of a thing established, they can work on that rather than needing to worry about having capital from other people.
Yeah, definitely.
So I reckon we're going to get more better story-driven stuff. Maybe less frequent like drops, but they would be a lot better. There we go. That's my last one for Leviathan.
Rather than like drip fed, like.
Yeah, and trying to squeeze shit out of people. I got strikes and shit now.
And also another thing that pisses me off, well used to, is the amount of time it took for them to fix things.
Yeah. Mickey, you're lead, aren't you? Going to bring us to any strike really. I've got those amethyst stuff ready to do now.
Like, remember with Prometheus Lens, man, how long it took?
Yeah.
For them to fix it, rather than just getting it fixed straight away, they made sell it.
What else is going to add now? So yeah, what I reckon there is just that they're going to be more like more like old Halo, now that they don't have the pressure of like needing to meet expectations as they apparently didn't do with Forsaken, which was the best DLC that they brought out. Yep. In my opinion, since Destiny as a whole was released.
I think the reason why I've always liked Forsaken better than all of fucking anything in D2, because D1 did have fucking better story when it came to getting into the lore of things and fucking getting a little bit more in depth with it. But I think that with D2, when they dropped Forsaken, the story wasn't, the gameplay itself wasn't long, but the cutscenes that you get from it, the actual digital graphics that they did, and all of the hidden little fucking videos you could stumble across were fucking amazing. I mean, all the way down to me watching fucking Cade die, which was the shittiest day of my life, let me tell you. But video game wise, but you know, it's like the animation is fucking worthy of being in a fucking movie theater if they could find a way to jumble it all together and put it in a movie. Hell, they did it with Halo for a while.
And Beowulf as well. That's. Do you remember watching Beowulf? Or have you seen Beowulf?
Yeah, but I'm old enough that I actually fucking remember the late 70s, early 80s TV show that was on. That was real life people.
Oh no, like
not
I remember.
A pleasant watch.
No, I mean like the CGI one. Like After a while, I stopped thinking, oh, this is CGI, and like now the quality of video games, like that's practically on par with in-game graphics nearly. So
Yeah.
they could easily do
Oh,
that.
wait. I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about the one that had that fucking Angelina Jolie playing the fucking last character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it, well, not exactly her, but you know what the fuck I mean. A
Mhm.
digital mapping of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. But anyway,
I
so,
thought you actually meant like the old shitty fucking TV show.
oh god, no. Jay, you brought up the quality of the CG, so I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
So now, how much better off do you think Bungie's going to be now that they don't have to worry about Activision breathing down their necks?
I think it's too
It's
early
hard
to
to
tell. Because if you think them made the game bad with D2, like them were the one who launched it the way it was. I mean, I know like they had time frame and like they couldn't like put it back, you know. But at the same time, them have done a lot of shitty moves as well, like with the whole like fucking, like just the state that it came in and like all the other shit that you heard about, like the
Anybody
XP
else seeing
throttling and
this thing?
stuff like that.
Hmm. And do you remember the way that the story was practically had to be rewritten in a couple of weeks? And they had to
Yep.
Yeah. Do you reckon that something like that would happen with Bungie being by themselves, given how well done the stories in like Halo were?
I think
I
they
think
might
something
have
that-
learned a lesson.
I think something that might be shitty about it is now that fucking Activision isn't there anymore, they don't have access to Activision's funds. Therefore, they might not be the same kind of quality that we've seen and we've expected to come out when we see it.
It's possible.
That could
but
be
then,
something, but at the same time, they've also had enough revenue come in to the point of where I don't think that that should really matter anymore now.
Yeah, and I
I mean,
reckon
I'm
that.
sure just because they dropped Activision doesn't mean that their fucking bank account got cut in half, but you know, not having to spend all of your fucking annual income on from profits to do nothing more than make new content, that would suck.
Yeah.
People got to get paid still who work there.
Yeah. I reckon that the content we will have, it'll be better quality, but it won't be as often because of that.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to release
I can
shit.
see that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to release shit if they don't think it's worthy of the players.
Yep.
Which is, as far as I know, their whole philosophy of doing games. Because even like from the 90s with the likes of, well, I can't remember the name of the game, but I know that they pretty much started the whole parenting with listening to the community and building the community from like wanting to give stuff out to the players that they thought the players wanted, rather than like, okay, this is when we need to get it out, it's going out this date, whether it's up to our standard or not. It's what Activision says,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
I honestly think that we might just have to wait and see, but I do have higher hopes now that Activision's not with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're more independent, not working a schedule, and freaking worrying about growth and profit, and they can ship a game and like, well, they were happy with Forsaken, you know what I mean? They even turned around and said Activision like, well, we're happy with it, because them apparently weren't, because it didn't make as much money as what they expected it to make, and they were like, and they defended it, which I think was pretty
Yeah.
good for, like on their behalf. That was good, defending their game, because I think everybody agrees it is the best expansion that they brought out,
Easily.
and they're gonna take this and do more with it.
Mhm.
But then at the same sense, if they do fuck up, it's on them. They've got no one else to like hide behind his name or like up blaming other people. It's all them. But I am hoping that they've learned the lesson these past few years.
Well, that's another sort of bonus to this as well, that they don't, if they fuck up, it's their fault. It's and they know that they'll have to be held accountable, so they'll be more
Yeah.
inclined to bring better content and shit. So yeah, is that everything that you guys reckon about this whole ordeal?
It's a possibility. I'm
Pretty
just kind
much,
of
yeah.
gonna be excited to wait and see how it plays out. Because
Yeah.
if Bungie's 100% in charge, it should still be fun. And it won't feel like I fucking put all this fucking time and effort into a game that's just gonna end up being a 2 or 3 part series. And
I'm hoping you see
being
more
like most other
cosmetics drop,
trilogies,
like
just getting
in
shitty
the
as they
open
go.
world.
Mm-hmm. If they can't support it though, without Activision, do you guys think that a subscription-based model is viable? In the same way that like World of Warcraft is.
I wouldn't mind that.
It'd be, if it was to be a subscription thing, it'd likely be like an ever-expanding thing, like what we expected D1 to be instead of
Yeah.
getting a sequel.
See, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, like I played World of Warcraft for years, and I played RuneScape as well as a subscription member, so I'd be fine with it anyway.
Just so long as the expansions aren't like ridiculously priced, since you are paying like a subscription as well.
Yeah, I think that it wouldn't be as expensive for the amount that you get. Like if you got more, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
If you got substantially more, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like still another $20.
Yeah, I'll say I wouldn't be bothered paying that.
Yeah.
Well, something else too is it's more than likely gonna end up becoming fucking less expensive because now 2 companies aren't having to pay one another from one source.
That's true as well.
You know, Bungie might not feel the need to have to fucking charge so much anymore now that they don't have to fucking pay Activision fucking, you know, back for something they might have loaned them, or fucking constantly be in debt to them, or any kind of payment system that they might have. I'm sure that they had to have fucking had something when it came to that, because otherwise, how are 2 companies making profit off of one thing?
Yeah, exactly. So I reckon that's probably everything that needs to be said, is it? Does anyone have any like little final statements they'd like to add?
Yeah, Bungie, if you screw us, I'm coming for you. I'm already pissed that you took Cade. Alright, my hunter, his trigger finger's itchy and his throwing knives are getting mighty hot. Gotta get him out of my hands.
Alright. Well, thanks for giving your input, guys, for sure.
Anytime.